now.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages.
If you follow basketball, you know Showtime hoops.
So this is really good right here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all over the world. How y'all doing tonight? What's going on? I was having a little bit of technical difficulties, but I'm in effect. I am excited. We got a lot of action going on tonight in the NBA. We got a lot to cover and a little bit of time to do it. Anthony Davis made his debut over the weekend. Luka is making his debut tonight. And I'm really excited about what I'm going to see. I don't expect him to play that much, but we'll get to Luka in a bit. We'll get to Luka in a minute. What I do want to talk about is I want to talk about what I want to talk about what I saw over the weekend between the Houston Rockets and the Dallas Mavericks. I know how you guys feel about Anthony Davis. I know how you guys feel about Anthony Davis getting traded for Luka. I get it. There's things you don't do. You know, industry rule number 4080. You know, record company people are shady. You know, industry rule number 4081. Don't battle KRS-One. Okay. Rule number 4082. Don't trade Luka. I get it, right? I know how you feel about Luka Dončić. I know how you feel about him, and I know how you feel about what the staple was for him in that organization. I get it. I 100% get it. Considering everything that he was for them, first team All-Pro that he was, top 5 player in the league consistently. You can make an argument, top 3 player in everything that he was fantastic, and I won't argue that. But there were people that were around him every day who saw him every day and looked at Luka and thought, we're not winning it with him. No matter what I do, no matter what I put around him, I don't think that the consistent effort and commitment is going to be there. And he's good enough to keep doing what he's doing. Still good enough to be a top 3, top 5 player. Still good enough to be a first team All-Pro. But can we win it with him? I don't think so. That's what the logic was with the Dallas Brass. And they thought, I apologize. And they thought if we paid him, it would get worse. Now, Anthony Davis steps in, who looked phenomenal on Saturday afternoon. He looked great. Not only did he look great, Dallas looked great. And I feel like what Dallas did was they looked at how this unit was built around Luka, because that's what it was. If we're being honest, this unit was built around Luka, and I think Dallas looked at that and said, okay, Nico Harrison in particular looked at this and thought, all right, how can I change the dynamic of this crew without completely gutting the unit? Because we got really good pieces, right? How can I change the dynamic of this group without gutting what's going on around here? Marquavian, get out of my chat, yo. You're not welcome here. Get out of here. You're not. Beat it, my man. You're not welcome here. So how can I change the dynamic of my unit without gutting what's going on here? Because they did, if we're being honest, right? If we're being honest, if you look at the landscape of the Dallas Mavericks, they hit on trading for PJ Washington. They hit on Kyrie Irving. They hit on drafting Derek Lively, who I thought was a project, right? Who I thought was a project. They hit on him. No, we're not going to keep you basketball. I don't want to talk basketball with you. I don't. You don't have anything interesting for me to talk about. So I'm not interested in talking basketball with you. I'm not. So no, I'm not keeping it basketball with you. They hit on Derek Lively, right? They hit on Derek Lively. They hit on Gafford. And they looked at the dynamic of this crew, right? They looked at the dynamic of this crew and thought, all right, How can we stay competitive with what we have? Right? How can we stay competitive with what we have and stay at the top of the Western Conference and still compete for an NBA championship? All right, well, we got Gafford, we got Lively, we got Irv, we got PJ Washington, we got Najee Marshall, we got dirty work guys, right? We got dirty work guys, but we got a mixture of things too. In addition to having dirty work guys, we also have knockdown shooters. We also got bucket getters. We have that. All right, so what are we missing? We're missing a big guy. We're missing a big guy who can score. Right? We're missing a big guy who can score. And I think that they narrowed it down to one guy. I don't think that they had anybody else on their radar. I heard that they picked up the telephone and called up Milwaukee and asked for Giannis, and Milwaukee said no. To be honest with you, I don't believe that. I think it was only one guy. It may be true. It may 100% be true. But I think that they only had one guy in their sights, and that was Anthony Davis. And it was time to change the dynamic of this unit. Change the makeup of this unit and what exactly this unit is going to be. And we got a 3-year window to do it, right? We got a 3-year window to do it. Then you move on to Luka, moving on to the Lakers. And I've said this in the past, and I stand on it, that Luka, for all intents and purposes, is one of the best passers that I have ever seen. There aren't many passers that I've seen in my lifetime that are better than Luka. And when I say passers, I mean like I'm talking Stockton, Magic, guys like that in that range. I feel like he's that good. Steve Nash, right? I feel like of the guys that of all the guys. But before I get to any more of this, what I want to do is I want to put an end to something, right? I do. I want to put an end to something, and I want to see. Yeah, I want to put an end to it. So, with that being said, right? With that being said, I hear a lot that with Luka needing the basketball and James needing the basketball, how is this going to work? Well, I seen James playing with Kyrie Irving, and it worked, right? I seen James play with Dwayne Wade, and it worked. I seen him playing with players who need the basketball, and it worked, right? I saw him playing with guys who needed the ball, and it worked playing with these guys. When he plays with these guys who need the basketball, and it works, and now we got a guy who's a lot younger than him. Not only a lot younger than him. James is more in the space of doing what it takes to win instead of being the dominant guy. Because I think he's playing off the ball this year more than he's ever played. Right? I think he's playing off the ball more than he's ever played, ever. And with that being said, I don't think that there's an issue between him and I don't think that there's an issue between him and Kyrie, him and Luka being able between him and Luka being able to coexist. I don't think so at all. I don't. I don't think so at all. So with that being said, just so you know, the link is in the chat. That all of that shit you be talking, the link is in the chat, dude. It's right there. The link is in the chat. So all that shit you talk when you get around all them other people, you got me on a solo right here. All that shit you talk. Come on up here. Come on up. What I'm gonna do tonight is I'm gonna talk to a couple of people early, and then I'm gonna get back to I'm gonna get back to what I have to talk about between both Luka and LeBron and Luka's debut tonight. What's up?
Yo, G, what's good?
What up?
So I understand you're looking for the Anthony Davis archetype, right? You want a big, you want a scoring big, you want a defensive anchor. I
Yep.
completely understand that for the Mavericks. But you have a 25-year-old that you just made the finals with.
Yep.
And now you're getting AD, who I'm not going to say he's injury prone. He played many games last year, but he has a 2-year window now in his prime. So you're
Mhm.
trading a 25-year-old that just took you to the finals. I still don't understand how that isn't a mistake.
Mm. So number one, I think that I think that they looked at Luka, and for all intents purposes, what they had, they figured. Even though I know exactly where you're going with it, Lou. Looking at Luka, the idea is you keep building around him. You don't trade him. You keep moving. You keep building around him. I think that they looked at Luka, and I think that they thought, no matter what we put around him, we're not winning it with him as our lead dog. We're not. And in order for us to win it, we have to change what's going on around here. And I felt like they did that. And I think that Anthony Davis, I think we got 3 years. That's it. I think we got 3 years to make this thing work. Very much like what's going on with both Giannis and Dame. We're in year 2 of that. Yeah, we're in year 2 of that. So, but good to talk to you, brother. Good to talk to you. What's up, chump?
What up? You called me
What
out.
up? You popped
Let's
all
do
that
that
shit.
too.
Now you up here. What's up, nigga? What up?
Hey, any topic. What is it?
Whatever. Whatever. You the one talking all that shit. Chill. I'm your worst nightmare. Whatever. What's up?
Hey, it don't matter what. Hey, what topic? I
What
ain't
are you
have a
talking
topic.
about? You the one came up here talking all that shit. So talk. What's up?
Hey, we can get into anything.
You tell
Tatum,
me. What's up? You the one
SGA.
talking it. You the one talking it. Talk that shit. I'm listening. I'm here.
Hey, let's all right. Tatum, SGA as a 1v1 player.
What about him?
You think Tatum's better, right?
What about him?
So I'm asking you, think Tatum's the
What
better
about
one?
him? You already heard everything that I said. So talk.
Okay. SGA's just a better one-on-one player. Better getting to the spots. Better, I think, better ball handler. Better getting downhill. Tatum, he's just not consistent with getting to a spot. He rely on step back threes. But you already know this. But you still said
Right.
Tatum's the better 1v1 player.
What the stuff that you're saying, number one, you're not saying anything that anybody hasn't already said. All you're doing is repeating what anybody else has already said. None of your logic is original. Nothing.
It is original.
No, it's not. Because you
This
just
is all
said
stuff I
everything.
see.
Not only is it not original, you're repeating everything that you heard me say to everybody else, and everybody else said to me. You're not saying anything new. Nothing.
This is new. This is what I seen. This is new.
No, this isn't what you've seen. No, this isn't. What you see is what everybody else is saying, not what you actually say or what you think. What do you think, my man? When you talk about SGA as a one-on-one player, right? When you talk about SGA as a one-on-one player, what makes him so dynamic as a one-on-one player?
His ability to get to his spots in the mid range, handle the ball, get downhill. He's just consistent with that.
That's it? Just handle the ball?
I said get in the mid range, get to his spots in the mid range. He's just better at getting to his spots than Tatum is.
What do you mean getting to the spots in the mid-range? A lot of times he's given the mid-range because guys don't want to get beat. So they give him the mid-range. Do you ever recognize that or no?
I mean,
No, you don't
but he's
recognize
still
that. The reason
better.
why you don't recognize that is because you don't watch him. You don't watch
I
the reason why a
recognize
lot
that.
of the times when he's
But he
knocking down
still
the
does it
mid-range
more than
shot,
what Tatum does.
the reason why
That's
he's knocking down that
undeniable.
mid-range shot is because he's open a lot of times because guys don't crowd him because they don't want to get beat.
But
And what
Tatum
about him?
doesn't even try to play in the mid range. That's the difference.
That's not true at all. That's just not true at all because he does play in the mid-range. That's not true
As
because
much
he
as
shoots in the
SGA.
mid-range. That's okay. So those two things are not the same. Those two things are not. You just said he doesn't try to play in the mid-range. Does he not? Does he play in the mid-range or not? Which one? I'm
saying
sorry,
he
sir.
doesn't
I'm listening
play
to
it
you.
as much as
Does
SGA.
he play? Does he play in the mid-range? Yes or no?
A little bit.
I ain't ask you a yes. So is that a yes or no?
That's not what he mainly does.
I'm not
saying
asking
this
you
is what
that. Once
SGA
again, sir,
mainly
does he
does.
play in the mid-range? Yes or no?
Every now and then.
So is that a yes or no?
Man, I guess yeah, but that's not what he
Okay,
really does.
with him playing in the mid-range, what else does he do in the mid-range in your estimation when you watch him?
You talking about Tatum?
No, I'm talking about me.
I don't know what your game was, but if you talking about Tatum, He just really doesn't play in the mid range. I don't know what you see. I don't see it.
You don't see anything. You clearly don't. So does Jason Tatum, when he plays in the mid range, is he effective in the mid range?
Not nearly to the level of SGA.
I didn't say not nearly. I asked you, was he effective in the mid range? Yes or no?
Man.
That's a yes or no, sir.
If you think he's effective,
No.
I
I'm
don't
not.
think he's as
Forget
effective as
what
you
I'm
think.
thinking. Forget me. I'm talking about. Do you think he plays in the mid range? And when he plays in the mid range, how effective is he in your estimation, sir?
When he plays it, he's good, but he's not elite in the mid range.
Okay, so one minute you just told me that he doesn't play in the mid range, and then the next minute you told me he kind of plays in the mid range, and now he's good in the mid range.
I said he's
so he
good,
does
but
play in the
he's
mid
not to
range.
the
So 1 minute
elite.
he didn't play in the mid range. I guess he plays in the mid range, and now he's good in the mid range. Which one is it?
No,
Does he play in the mid range or not?
He barely
no,
plays
sir?
in the mid range, but when he does, he's
So he is good. So he is good in the mid range. Okay,
Yeah.
so with him being good in the mid range, how good is he in other areas?
He's a solid 3-point shooter.
Is he a better 3-point shooter than SGA? Yes or no?
I see. Yeah.
So you think he's a better? And how do you think that 3 ball gets set up in your estimation when you watch him?
They run sets. They run sets. He gets open. He gets it off the dribble.
How does he get it off the dribble? What do you mean he gets it off the dribble? Because anybody can get it off the dribble. Anybody. What kind of sets do they run in your estimate when you watch him? What kind of sets do they run in order for him to get open in the mid range?
Wait, are we talking about the 3 or mid range?
I'm talking to you about basketball, sir. Once again, when Jason Tatum gets the ball in the mid range, how is he able to set himself up to how is he able to set himself up to get to the long ball line? How is he able to do that?
Wait, but you keep saying mid range. Are we talking about the long ball line or the mid range?
Both of those two things are one and the same. I need this in order for this to work. I need my long ball in order for my mid range to work. I need my mid range to work in order for my long ball to work. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I'm already saying he's better at the 3-point line than SGA. But I'm saying what SGA does consistently as a 1v1 player is better than what Tatum does as a 1v1 player.
And what does he do better than Jason Tatum as a 1v1 player in your estimation?
I've already said it.
You said you said he's better at getting downhill. Do you know that
he's better at that too?
Do you know that Jason Tatum? I think he shoots almost 80% at the rim this season. Did you know that?
I don't know what the stats are.
I do. I do know that. I know that he's shooting almost 80% at the rim. I do know that. Getting downhill. And as an isolation player, he's number 1 in the league in isolation. Now, SGA, for all intents and purposes, gets to the rim with the best of them. Did you know that?
You said what? What'd you say? I didn't hear what you said.
How did you not? Everybody else heard what I said. How come you ain't hear what I said? Everybody else heard me.
Say it again. I didn't hear it.
Jason Tatum is number 1 in the league in isolation. Number 1, right? He's number 1 in the league in isolation. He's shooting almost 80% at the rim.
Yeah.
SGA gets to the rim with the best.
Wait, number 1 in isolation. What percentage? Scoring? What?
Yes, number 1 in isolation. There's nobody who is in isolation more than Jason Tatum. There's not one guy in the league that's better. There's not one guy that's more in isolation than Jason Tatum. He's almost 80% at the rim. So he gets to the rim.
Stats calculated.
So
the computer watch the games or like
how
do they?
So now the computer. So now the numbers don't matter to you. Even though when you and I had this conversation about Scottie Pippen shooting the long ball, that's the first thing you brought up to me was his 3-point percentage.
But
that's the first thing that you brought up to me.
Hold on, we can see the shot.
There is no hold on. No.
You talk about hold on. You talk about
that's not the way that works, sir.
Hold on.
That's not the way that works, sir. You just told me. Now does the computer calculate watching the game? But then you told me when you and I had the conversation about Scottie Pippen and Chris Paul, you were the first one to bring up Scottie Pippen's long ball line. What he did at the long ball line in terms of his percentages. You brought that up first. You didn't bring up anything else.
3-point attempts, you can literally see and calculate that. I'm saying who puts in the stats for isolation? That's probably an advanced stat. So does the computer watch the games and
what you can't pick and choose which stats you want to use.
I'm saying because that's
not the way that works.
Because
no, they're not. No, they're not. Because you bring up advanced stats, sir.
No,
You
I
talk
don't.
defense.
I don't.
Yes, you
I
do.
don't even know the
You
advanced stats. I don't
100% bring
no
up advanced stats. You bring
No.
up you talk defensive rating with me. Yes, you
What?
have.
No, I have to stop.
You have not talked defensive rating with me when you talked about Chris Paul. Sit there
No,
and say you didn't.
I've never done, bro.
Sit
Are
there
you?
and say that you didn't.
No. Mm-mm. But anyway, 3-point attempts and defense. What were we talking about? Isolation. Those are two completely different
Mike,
stats.
you don't have any idea about basketball. You don't. What you do is you talk loud. You're a troll. You don't understand the game of basketball. You don't
I
understand
understand,
how
but you trying to
actions work.
say
No,
you
you
trying to
don't.
make all this
No,
stuff
no, you
sound like
don't.
it's
You
the
say you
same
do.
thing.
What I want you to
3-point
do
attempt
from
is a
now
basic
on,
stat.
I want you to learn the game. Listen to people. You insult me. You
I've
come on
listened
the
to y'all.
show.
Y'all be
No,
capping.
you come on the show and you insult me. You barely know what you're talking about. And the reason why you barely know is because the logic that you get is from other people. You don't have any logic of your own because you can't defend it. When I ask you about defending this logic, you can't defend it because it's other people's logic. So when I say to you
I
about
did
Jason
defend it.
Tatum,
You
no, you
started
didn't.
bringing up advanced stats. That's not really relevant because you don't know how these stats subtract. You know, advanced stats. All it is a computer programming. That's not watching the game. You can watch the game and see Tatum's not the
Okay.
best isolation player in the league.
Okay, so who is the best isolation player in the league in your estimation, sir?
I don't know who. It's between guys like KD, SGA,
You think
Luka.
you think KD is still one of the 5 best isolation players in the game?
He in that conversation, that caliber. I
That's a
don't got
yes
a
or no
list for
question,
it, but
sir. That's a yes or no question, sir. You think he is? Do you think Jason Tatum is one of the best isolation players in the league?
I mean, that can top 20, I guess. Yeah.
Name five isolation players better than him. Do it.
I don't got a list. SGA,
Then you don't know. Then you don't know.
SGA, Luka, KD, health. I think Embiid healthy is
Okay,
better.
Embiid hasn't been healthy, but keep going.
Kawhi Leonard.
Nope.
Man, come on.
Nope.
I think Kawhi Leonard is better than as an ISO player.
Based on what? What does Kawhi Leonard do isolation wise that Jason Tatum doesn't do? Leonard gets to the rim. So does Jason Tatum. Leonard plays in the mid range. You just said he's good in the mid range when he plays.
I'm not saying he clears, but I'm saying I would just take him.
Once again, so what you're saying is by just watching these two guys. But so what you're saying is by watching these two guys, you would take Kawhi Leonard over him, even though Jason Tatum, who you just seen him Saturday, getting to the rim, dunking the ball over big guys, finishing around the rim with both hands. Kawhi Leonard is still better than him today. Still better than him today.
Consistently him.
But it's consistent with Kawhi Leonard though.
No, they're in the same conversation.
So then why is Jason Tatum, who's shooting almost 80% at the rim?
If two guys are in the same conversation, they don't matter.
Really? Even though Jason Tatum gets to the rim more than him and is shooting better at the rim than him, he's in the same conversation with him. You wouldn't do that with anybody else.
But I'm saying they're in the same conversation.
No, so okay, you just said the same thing 3 times. I'm asking you a question, sir. What? No. There isn't whether it's 1 or 2. Once again, you just said the same thing 3 times. So a guy who gets to the rim more, who shoots a better percentage at the rim more and is averaging more points is not a better player at the rim than this other guy.
I mean, I just
that's
go
a yes
off
or no
the
question,
test.
sir.
I don't go off of stats.
Okay, so again, I'm telling you, this is what he's producing. So let's take the numbers off the table since you want to do that. So since you're watching a guy getting to the rim as much as Jason Tatum, this is what he's producing, getting to the rim as much as Jason Tatum does, finishing around the rim as much as Jason Tatum does, you still think Kawhi Leonard is better than him as a one-on-one player?
When he's healthy, yeah.
When has he been healthy, sir?
Well, not this season, but I think all right. So the next guy who I have, KD, SGA, Embiid, Luka.
Can we use that same logic with Embiid too? You're talking about a guy being healthy. Can we use the same logic with him?
All these guys are in the same conversation. So I mean,
so Jason Tatum is in this conversation with these guys too, then.
But I was comparing him to SGA, not
you just told me that Kawhi Leonard is in the same conversation with Jason Tatum as a one-on-one player. So if Kawhi Leonard is in
to go off a bunch of guys, so I was listing names, but the original was SGA.
So if Kawhi Leonard is in the same conversation with Jason Tatum as a one-on-one player, Kawhi Leonard,
yeah,
when he's healthy, because you think he's one of the better one-on-one players, is Kawhi Leonard a better one-on-one player? Is Kawhi in the same conversation with Joel Embiid?
When healthy, no.
You don't think so? So if Joel Embiid is healthy and Kawhi Leonard are healthy, both of these guys, they're not in the same conversation.
Embiid's unstoppable 1-on-1 when he's healthy.
Mm-hmm. And how about KD?
He's lost some athleticism, but
Interesting.
as a 1-on-1 player, KD's still in that conversation for top 5.
Okay. So I got Luka, I got SGA, you got KD in the conversation. You think that when healthy, right? You think when healthy, Joel Embiid is the best in the league, basically. He's unstoppable when he's healthy, even though he hasn't
Pretty
been
much.
over the last 3 years. So is it fair to say that Joel Embiid is the best isolation player in the game? Is that fair?
Yep.
When he's healthy.
Yep.
Where's Kawhi Leonard when he's healthy?
5th or 6th, something like that.
Okay, so you think him and Jason Tatum are in the same in the same class? Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay, so Jason Tatum is a top 5 1-on-1 player in the game. Is that fair?
I'm saying SGA is top 3.
Okay, now you're moving the goalposts. I didn't ask you.
No, Tatum can be top 5, but I'm saying
I didn't ask you that. I asked you to name 5 guys better than him. That's what I said. Is that not correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and you told me that him and Kawhi Leonard are in the same category. You think Kawhi Leonard is arguably a top 5 player as an isolation player, which means if you think him and Jason Tatum are the same, that means that Jason Tatum is also a top 5 isolation player. Is that fair?
Arguably, yeah.
Is that fair?
Arguably.
Which means you can't name 5 isolation players better than him.
No, he's
definitively.
You can
Yes
name
or no?
it, but I'm saying he'll be.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
Hold on. So I didn't say SGA, Luka, Embiid, Kawhi,
And
KD.
So 2 guys who barely play. 2 guys who barely play. But go ahead.
But when we talking, I'm saying when healthy.
Okay, we've been talking to win healthy logic with Kawhi Leonard for 5 years, but keep going. And Joel Embiid is going to need another knee surgery, but keep going.
All right, I just named 5 guys who are in the conversation.
So I guess Brandon Roy, when he was healthy, was a top 5 2 guard in the game. Yes, he was.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So with that being said, how far in your estimation is Jason Tatum from SGA? Now, I ain't even talking about as a 1-on-1 player. I'm talking about how far is Jason Tatum from SGA today?
As just the overall player?
Just a player. How far are they apart?
A couple spots different. Like, if SGA is number 4, Tatum might be like 6, 7.
And what did SGA do to jump Jason Tatum over the course of the last? So let me ask you a question. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. When did Jason Tatum jump? When did SGA jump Jason Tatum?
This season?
So this season he got past him.
Yeah.
And last season,
it was a conversation.
So we go from a conversation to him jumping him. So the year before that, so in the 22-23 season, what were we doing?
Hold on, that's 2 and 3 years ago.
Just 2 years ago. Just 2 years ago. Just 2.
No,
and the reason
that was 3. Hold on.
Here's why I'm asking you this, Mike. This is why I'm asking you this. 2 years ago, in the 22-23 season, was it a conversation?
22-20. Nah.
Okay, so you don't think it was a conversation, right? You don't think it was a conversation.
Nah.
So Jason Tatum, in the last 2 years, has been first team All-Pro, won the NBA championship, got busy in the playoffs. Not only did he get busy in the playoffs, playing at a first team All-Pro level again this year, still awesome.
But
what has SGA done this season to clear him? Considering what Jason Tatum has done over the last 2 years.
So this year, Chet's been out of the lineup, right? So Chet's been out of the lineup. SGA has played at an MVP level, leading the team, even without Chet, who most people say is the second best player. He's playing at an MVP level. They got the best record in the West, at least.
Mm-hmm.
So with him and what he does as a scorer, he's one of the best scorers in the game, top 3. He also makes for his team, gets downhill, gets to the free throw line.
Sure.
Pretty much with the best of them, really.
Yep. Now, who are the best of them? Because Jason Tatum, I think, is a better playmaker and distributor than him. And I think
get
he's a
to the
better
free throw
and I,
line with the best of them.
and I think he's a better one-on-one play. And I think he's a better one-on-one defender than SGA. And I think SGA is a damn good one-on-one defender. I think his versatility as a one-on-one defender, I think how he beats guys to spots, how he keeps his hands busy, how he's able to beat guys to spots and be physical with guys. I did watch him slow down SGA a season ago. I'm not sure as good as SGA is, as good
They
as
ain't played in
SGA
the
is.
playoffs.
This was last season. This was last season when they played, not in the playoffs. I'm talking about last season. I did watch him slow down SGA. But what I'm saying is him as a one-on-one defender, him as a playmaker, getting downhill, finding guys, his ability to pass out of the double team, out of the triple team.
He's a better
get
passer.
guys.
But I'm saying I think
So
SGA
with that being said, what has he done to clear him?
I didn't
Because
say
you just-
clear. I'm
What-
saying
I'm gonna tell you right now. Stop right there, Mike. Because when you tell me that a guy is as SGA, if he's number 3 or number 4, and a guy is 6, I'm this.
no. All of those guys are outside of the top. Giannis, Jokic. Really, outside of that, the rest the next 4 or 5 guys are all arguable.
Okay, so SGA and Jason Tatum are arguably.
Yeah, but you asked me why I think SGA is better.
I'm asking you what you think, 100%, because you told me that when I think about the 4th guy and the 6th guy, I think that there's a separation. I don't think that those two guys are just like when I think about Joker and I think about Giannis. I feel like the gap has closed, but earlier I don't think it was close. You could be the number 3 guy and the number 4 guy. There's a gap between you two.
That can happen, but I'm saying I don't think that's the case with these two.
Okay, so what is the case between these two then?
SGA, in my opinion, is slightly better.
When you say slightly better at what?
As a scorer.
Okay, he's a bucket getter, even though Jason Tatum is a bucket getter too, but keep going.
Without his second best player, he still has them with a better record than what the Celtics have. He's playing at an MVP level.
So is Jason Tatum.
At an MVP level. What is he? Is he leading the league in scoring, right?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't
That's
know
your
the
guy.
stats. Top 3 in the league in scoring, I think. I think he's a really good defender. I think he impacts
You don't
both
even
sides
know
of the floor.
God, Mike, how often do you watch Jason? How often do you watch Jason Tatum?
All the time.
Okay, did you watch him Saturday night?
Yeah.
Who did they play previous to Saturday night?
I don't know the schedule.
Okay, you don't know, which means you only watch them when other people watch him and you listen to them. You don't watch him.
No, I just don't remember. But
the reason why you don't remember is because you don't watch him. I need you to tell me the kind of action. So tell me, So tell me, because I watch him all the time. Tell me the kind of action that Jason Tatum, the kind of action that they run for Jason Tatum specifically. Go.
A lot of down screens.
No, they don't. They don't run any down screens for him. No, they don't.
Come on, you don't watch the games.
That's not true. They don't run any down screens for him. Go.
I just told you.
One more time.
I just told you down screens.
No, you didn't. They don't run any down screens for him. None.
Man, come on. You don't watch the games.
I watch all the games. What they do run is they run cross screen action and they run pick and pop action with him. And the reason why they're able to get the screen switches and the mismatches the reason why they're able to get the screens and switches that they get with him is because of the screener that he is. That's why he starts at the top of the key.
But they still do run down screens and stuff.
And get small guys on him and get mismatches. They don't run they don't run down screens for him in terms of getting him involved in the action. He's one of their primary ball handlers. Do you understand that?
So
sir?
Yeah, they run a lot of the pick and pop, pick and pop, pick and roll, driving. No, they like to do a lot of driving, kicking. But you saying they don't run down screens at all? Yes, they do. When
have you seen them run down screens for Jason Tatum? Go. And what kind of down screen action? What kind of down screen action do they run for him? Go.
Yeah, bro, you know what I'm saying.
I don't know what you're saying. That's why I'm asking. What kind of down screen action do they run for him? Go.
What you mean? What kind of down screen action?
It's a very simple question.
Down screen
what
action.
Kind of down screen action? And what are they trying to get when they run down screen action for him?
An open 3.
An open 3. That's it.
But that's mainly what the Celtics game is. It's all about shooting the 3 with the Celtics. You know this.
I don't know this. I know what their action is. I don't know what you think. That's why I'm asking you. Because you're the one who talk about you're my worst nightmare and you cooking. You ain't cooking shit but poison
Man,
you
hold
ain't
on.
cooking nothing, Mike.
The only
You're not
reason it's
cooking
not
anything.
cooking is
You
because it's
sound
against your favorite player. If this was
no,
against somebody else, you would be saying all
even
this
if it's
stuff
not
is
my
true.
favorite player, you
But
can
because it's
bring up
Tatum,
anybody.
nobody's cooking.
You
It's
can bring up
nothing you can say
anybody,
about
Mike.
Tatum.
You can bring Mike.
You
Bring up
biased
anybody.
towards Tatum, and we know this.
No, I'm not biased toward Tatum. Bring up anybody, Mike. Go.
Jalen Brunson. I don't know. Jalen Brunson.
Okay, what about Jalen Brunson? Talk to me about Jalen Brunson. Tell me about Jalen Brunson's game. Go.
Hold on, we getting removed from the point. We talk about Tatum.
No. Here's why we're off of Jason Tatum. We're off of Jason Tatum off the strength that you said I'm biased, right? So I want to make sure that there's no subjectivity here. There's all objectivity here. So let's talk about Jalen Brunson. Go. Tell me about Jalen Brunson's game.
One-on-one creator, ball dominant player, great one-on-one scorer, can handle the ball, get to his spots. He can play in the post against smaller guards.
No, he can't. He doesn't
Man,
play on the
chill,
block.
stop.
No, he doesn't. He does not play
So
in the
Jalen Brunson don't play in the post?
He does not play in the post. No, he
Man,
don't.
stop. So he don't back down smaller guards.
Okay, there's a difference, but there's a difference. So who's smaller than him? He's 6'1".
Chill.
Who's
When
smaller
small
than him?
guards are against him, you gonna tell me Jalen
Once
Brunson doesn't back
again,
him down?
I'm asking you a question, sir. Who is small? No. Chad ain't helping you here. I'm asking you, Mike. He's 6'1". Who's smaller than him? That he's getting the ball on the block and going after
any
him.
guards who aren't as strong, he backs
Once
them
again,
down.
who?
Any small, let's say
I don't know.
Trae
I don't know
Young,
any of these small guys. Is he backing down Drew Holiday?
That's not a smaller guard. I'm saying guys who are skinny and not as strong, he does back them down.
I'm going off Jason. I'm going off Jalen Brunson being crafty. I'm going on Jalen Brunson.
He is crafty. He gets to his spots. He can get downhill, finish amongst the trees. He does all those things. But you gonna sit there and say he never posts smaller guards?
No, I'm asking you what you're seeing when you talk about him posting up smaller guards. What smaller guards is he posting up? He's 6'1".
I'm saying small guards in general, not smaller
what
than him.
Small guards?
The guys who were
6'1".
small and
It's not
scrawny,
like
he does back them down.
He's 6'1", Mike. Who is he? So who is he taking advantage of? Who does he have a size advantage on?
He has a strength advantage, is what I'm saying.
Okay,
so
that's
even
size.
a guy that's 6'2",
that's 100% size.
So even a guy that's 6'2", I've seen him bat dudes down that may be an inch taller.
That sounds to me like Drew Holiday. So he's backing down Drew Holiday?
Bro, chill. Stop.
I'm asking you a question. I am asking you a simple question.
You're going to the top of the top.
What do you mean top of the top? These are the guys that he's going up against.
But everybody in the league ain't Drew Holiday and Kawhi Leonard and Derek White and all them.
Is he backing down Trae Young?
Defensive liabilities, those small, scrawny guards, he does back them down.
Like Trae Young?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Like I'm thinking of another, like does he do that to Jalen Suggs?
Jalen Suggs is a lot better defender than Trae Young, but
okay, so him
he
being
doesn't really
him
do
being
it with those kind of defenders. I'm seeing those like bad small defenders who just aren't really. So he takes advantage.
He takes advantage of mismatches, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so he takes advantage of mismatches. With that being said, where do you have Jalen Brunson amongst the better guards in the game? I don't mean league guards.
Top 5.
I mean the better guards in the game.
Best point guards.
No, I ain't say best point guards. I'm talking about guards overall. I'm talking like all the guards.
I don't have any, but he's in the conversation for top 5 in the best guards overall.
Is he better than SGA?
Nah.
Is he better than Luka?
Nah.
Is he better than Curry?
At this point, yeah.
Is he better than Damian Lillard?
I'd take him over Dame.
Is he better than De'Aaron Fox?
De'Aaron Fox. See, that's a conversation for me, but I'll say yeah.
So you think he's better than De'Aaron? Why is he better than De'Aaron Fox?
De'Aaron Fox. Actually, no, he is not. De'Aaron Fox is better on the defense.
So De'Aaron Fox is better than him. Even though he shoots it better than De'Aaron Fox. But go ahead.
I think De'Aaron Fox is a good shooter, though. I don't think he's just some slouch as a shooter. De'Aaron Fox really good in the mid range.
Is he better than Donovan Mitchell?
I don't know about that one.
Is he better than Anthony Edwards?
Not in my opinion, no.
So, is he better than Cade Cunningham?
Cade K's been great this year. I still say yes. Yeah.
Why is he better than Cade Cunningham? What about Cade? What about Cade Cunningham?
I just haven't seen
Is he?
K do it for long enough at this level.
What do you mean you haven't seen Cade do it long enough at this level? How long does he need to do it?
I'm saying that the way he's playing now, like he was good
Right,
last year, but the
right.
Pistons was losing 28 straight games.
So if
I'm
that's the
saying
case,
do it while winning. He just started doing it this season.
okay. So how long does he have to do it, sir?
This season and next season?
So he's got to do it 2 years at minimum.
Yeah.
Okay. So if that's the case, Jason Tatum is doing it. Jason Tatum has been doing it for over 5 years. SGA just got nice like the last 2-3 years. Why
I'm
is he?
saying it don't
Why
have
is
to be
he?
5. It
Why
just
is
has
he
to be
ahead of
2,
Jason?
and then I'll if I see it for 2 seasons, then that's all I'll put you in the conversation. But
Right.
it has to be more than 1, is what I'm saying. Just more than 1.
Is he better than LaMelo Ball?
I've yet to see Melo do it
So
on
you
a
haven't seen
consistent
LaMelo
winning
Ball.
level. So
So winning matters now. Okay, I'm with you. So winning matters. How about Darius Garland?
he's on the best team in the league, or
Mm-hmm.
best record in the league.
Yep.
He gets downhill. He can handle the
Mm-hmm.
ball.
Mm-hmm.
He can facilitate.
50, 40, 90 guy, by the way.
Yeah, real efficient. Get his
Mm-hmm.
guys involved. Pass.
Yep.
Neither of those guys are great on the defensive end.
I think Jalen Brunson's a damn good defender, by the way. I think he competes a lot more than people give him credit for,
He competes, but I'm saying like
considering how small he is.
yeah, he does. I'm saying, but neither of these guys are elite. But Jalen Brunson, he does compete more. I think he's a little stronger than Darius.
Does he take advantage of Darius Garland when he plays against him as a smaller guard?
To be honest, not really. I don't really
So
think so.
So who does he take advantage of in your estimation? Because Darius Garland
The worst defenders in the league.
is a small guard, right? Darius
I
Garland
don't
is a
think
small
Darius
guard.
Garland is one of the worst defenders. Just trash on the defensive end, though.
I think that's interesting that you say he takes advantage of the worst guards in the league, considering like, does he take advantage of like Maxey and
Yep.
Ben Simmons? Does he take advantage of guys like that? Does
But
he
Ben
take
Simmons
advantage?
is 6'10". He can't. He can't. Well, like what I was saying.
LaMelo Ball 6'8". LaMelo Ball is 6'8". He's not a great defender. Does he take advantage of him?
He does it against smaller, shorter guards who aren't strong. Not no 6'8" and 6'9" guys.
Does he take advantage of Ja?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah. I'm not saying he backs him down all
you
game.
You don't sound sure about that, Mike. Have you seen him play against Ja Morant?
Yes.
When you saw him play against Ja Morant, what did you see him do against Ja Morant?
Get to his spots, get busy.
No, you didn't. You didn't see him play against Ja Morant. You did not. No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so what did he last time he played against Ja Morant? What did he do?
I don't remember the numbers.
I can tell you, he got busy against Ja Morant. So, just so you know, which means you didn't watch.
I already said
he got busy against him. I'm actually helping you out here because I actually watch games and you don't.
I didn't know the numbers, so I wasn't able to give you.
And the reason why you don't know the numbers is because you don't watch. That's why, Mike.
No, I don't look at basketball reference.
All you do, Mike, is all you do is talk about. All you do is
think if you know the stats, that means you know what you're talking about. Stats don't mean
you copy
just because you know the
everything
stats don't mean you
everybody
know
else says.
basketball.
You regurgitate it, and then
just because you know a couple
now when
basketball
I put
reference
you on the spot
accolades and
to defend it, you
that's
can't
the end all
defend
be
it.
all.
That's the problem. That's your problem. And then you come up here and insult me. You don't know the game.
So because
all
I
you
don't
do,
sit there
all
on
you
ESPN
all you
stats
do
and
is
NBA.com,
regurgitate
now
what
you don't know
everybody
what
else
you're
says.
talking about.
That's you. That's you in a nutshell.
So
that's you.
So
and
because
everybody
you know
here
a couple
is seeing
stats, that's just the end.
No, it's not. It's not. No. It's not about a couple of stats. No, I'm actually talking basketball. I'm talking action, which you can't talk. What you do is you just regurgitate what everybody else says. When I press you on it, well, wait a minute. I don't know if he. Wait a minute. I don't know if he. Wait a minute. I don't know. And the reason why you don't know is because you don't know.
We were talking about guys
because
all in the same tier. So I don't have rankings.
You don't
so
know.
I'm saying
that's why you. That's why you can't tell me because you don't know. If you knew, you could tell me.
I just don't have a list of every single player in the league and where they're ranked.
The reason why is because if you asked me something and I knew it, I would tell you. The reason why you don't know is because you don't actually know. You just regurgitate
I don't know
what
numbers.
everybody
I don't
else
know
says.
basketball
That's
reference.
all you're doing. You don't.
I don't know basketball
Unfortunately.
reference.
And you don't
That's
have
what
to know
y'all do.
basketball reference. What I asked is, do you know basketball? And you clearly don't. What you're doing is just telling me what everybody else
So
is saying.
you would
And
sit
when
there
I
and tell me
press you
Jalen
on it,
Brunson doesn't
when I
take
press you on it,
advantage of smaller guards.
and everybody here is seeing it. Everybody here is seeing it. When I press you on it, well, I don't know. Well, I don't have this. I don't know this. And the reason
They
why
ain't
you don't
seen
know
nothing.
this,
You
reason why you don't know it, Mike, is because you don't actually know it. That's why.
I do know it. You
No, you
trying
don't.
to make
And here's the
everything
thing.
sound.
And
You
here's
want
the thing.
everything to
The
fit
reason why
your
you don't know
narrative.
it, and the
Every
reason why
time
you
someone says
can't
something
tell
against
us,
your narrative, you
and
start
all
talking
these
about
people are
basketball
here,
reference accolades
all
and
these
stats.
people are right here seeing it that you don't know it. They're hearing you tell us, I don't know this. I'm not sure about that. I wouldn't say that. And the reason why you don't know, and the reason why you're not sure, is
When I
because
was
you
saying
don't
that, we were
know.
talking about
You
guys who are
don't.
all in the same conversation. I don't have a
Unfortunately, you
list. So I'm
don't.
saying if they
So
all in the same
with all of that being
conversation,
said, they're not, Mike. And the reason why they're not is because you don't know. See, if you pressed me on the stuff that I was asking you, I could give you legit logic. You know why? Because I know.
you
Because I
couldn't.
watch basketball. You want to
You
tell,
couldn't
this is
give
what
me
you want to
legit
do.
logic. You started talking about
This is what
advanced
you want to do.
stats.
You want to tell me.
Hold
This is
on.
what you want to
How's
do.
Tatum a
You
better
want to tell me.
1v1 player than
You
SGA?
want
How's
to
he a
tell.
better
This is
one-on-one
what you
player
want
than
to tell me.
SGA?
You want to tell me that, yo, I
Take the
care
stats
about
out of it.
watching the game. I
Take
want
the
to watch.
stats out of it.
No,
How's
we can't
Tatum a
take
better
this.
one-on-one player?
We can't take the stats out of it because this is what I'm producing. What kind of dumbass logic is that, Mike?
No,
That's
we
like saying.
talking about.
That's like
I
saying
was
take the
talking about
paycheck.
on the court. You started talking
That's
about
like
analytics and
hey,
stuff you
hey,
heard from Low and Strikers.
that's like saying, hey, take the paycheck away. Who works harder? What the hell? Take the money away. Who is giving you the best production when you take away
What
each
did
guy's
you see?
paycheck
What
each
did
week?
you see from this?
What kind of dumbass logic is that?
What did
Come
you
on, Mike.
see?
What are you talking
But
about?
you
And
hold on. You asked me this whole time, but not once did you give me logic on why Tatum's the better one-on-one player.
Again, we're off Jason Tatum. Remember, you just told me that I can't be objective about him, so I'm off Jason Tatum.
All right, be objective now. Based off of what you've seen, put the basketball reference
I'm
down.
done.
What
I
did
ain't
you
even.
see on why Tatum's a better 1v1 player than SGA?
What do I? Okay, so you want me to take the production off the table? That's what you want me to do?
Yeah, take all that basketball reference, NBA.com stuff out the table. What did you see?
Mike, if we just out here, so are we just talking about better basketball players?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, Jason Tatum is a better basketball player. Yes, better on the glass.
As a 1v1 player.
Okay,
who's
so
better off of what you've
okay.
seen?
Those two things don't work. Don't tell me 1v1 player. You just said what you've seen. I'm talking about a better basketball player.
Yeah, what I've seen from him. That's what the conversation
talking about
was.
better
Who's the better
basketball players.
one-on-one player?
I think the difference, and I'm on record saying this, I think the difference is Jason Tatum will bail you out with a bad shot. I don't think SGA will do that. I think SGA is more. I think SGA is more consistent.
Yep.
I think
like
SGA
I said before, but you said I just heard that from somebody else.
No. Okay, you just said he's more consistent. More consistent at what? What is he more consistent at, Mike?
Get into his spots.
Okay, no. That's not what I was going to say.
Hold on.
That's not what I was going to say.
Player, he's better at getting to the free throw line than Tatum.
That's not what I was going to say. That's not what I was going to say.
So you think that? So all right, keep going.
That's not what I was going to say. What I was saying was SGA is more consistent at doing what he's good at. If you give him the mid-range, he's going to stick to mid-range all night. He's going to get to the rim when it's necessary to get to the rim. Why? Because I can. But I'm going to give what the defense, I'm going to take what the defense gives me. I'm not going to bail you out with a bad shot. I'm not going to take a lot of bad shots. I'm smart enough as an offensive player to get your best defensive player in foul trouble, and I'm efficient at the free throw line, which, by the way, we can't talk about this efficiency stuff with you because that goes into production. We can't talk about that with you. So when you go to the free throw line and when you're talking about a guy scoring, we can't talk about that with you. And the reason why I can't talk
free throws.
I'm not done. We can't talk about that with you. And the reason why we can't talk about that with you, because it goes into the line of producing. And if I'm producing, that doesn't matter.
Both of these guys produce high-level numbers.
Like,
so if they both produce at this high level, then numbers can't be the end-all, be-all. It has to be what you see.
But everything that everybody else says, you can't articulate it yourself. And the reason why you can't articulate it yourself, because you don't know. That's why. But
so
then you'll insult me.
Articulating his numbers and stats.
No. We ain't even talking about. I just gave you what SGA does without numbers. I just did that.
And it's the
I
same
just
stuff
told
that
you.
I already said.
No, it ain't. You just said he's more consistent and he gets to the free throw line. That's all you said.
No,
and the reason
you
why
know
you
what
said
I
that,
said earlier.
no,
He's consistent
that's
getting
exactly
to
what
his
you
spots
said.
in the mid
And
range,
the reason
getting
why you said
downhill,
that,
applying pressure,
the
getting to
reason
the
why
free
you
throw
said
line.
that
I
is
said all of this
because
earlier.
you heard that from somebody else. You
No, I
already,
watch.
Mike,
See,
you've already
every time
exposed
someone
yourself
has good
that you
points,
don't
you
watch
heard it from
SGA like
somebody
that.
else.
You don't.
You don't know ball.
You don't. You don't watch
That's
him.
because it goes against Tatum, like I said.
I ain't even talking about Jason Tatum. You keep bringing up Jason Tatum. I'm talking about SGA. You don't watch him. You don't.
I've watched plenty.
No, you don't.
I've
When's the
watched
last?
plenty.
No, you don't. You know what you do? You watch. You're a highlight merchant, and you go
No.
off of what other people say,
No.
and it sounds good. That's who you
No.
are. That's why when you come up here and I ask you questions and I press you and I ask you about the game, you can't explain it to me because
I
you
already
don't
explained
know.
it, but every time I
No,
get
you don't.
factual information,
No,
you say it's cap.
what factual information have you given me, Mike? You don't even want to go off the numbers. You don't. You
Hold on,
don't want to go off the numbers. You
when
can't
I
tell
said-
me. You can't tell me factual information. You can't tell me factual information and then leave out production. You can't
When I
do
told
that.
you that the Celtics
How?
offense is a
How
lot of
can you
driving
do that,
kick, you
Mike?
said that was
I'm
cap.
asking you a question, Mike. How can you talk factually and then leave out production? How can you do that, Mike? Go.
By going off of what I saw.
No, that's not it, Mike. No, that's not the way that works, Mike. You can't do that. You can't just go off of what you see and then leave out what I'm producing and say that you're giving me factual
But I'm
information.
saying both of these guys produce
now
at
what
that
you
level.
see-
we
because-
already know what both of these
because what
guys
you
are high
see-
level
because what
producers.
you see, it could be different than what I see, which means it's not factual. It's an opinion. On your level, in your case, it's an opinion. When I ask you facts,
So when I say that the Celtics offense relies on a lot of drive and kick, is that factual or cap?
no, it's not.
Okay, chill. So the Celtics don't rely on a lot of drive and kick
How do you know they rely on a lot of drive and kick, Mike?
by watching the games.
Are you sure you watch them? When's the last time you watched the Boston Celtics, Mike?
Just last week
When just last week? When did you watch them?
against the Knicks.
Yeah, and how and what did you see? What did you see from them, particularly? Who was doing the most driving and kicking?
All of them driving
Okay,
kick.
see
That's the
that
point of their
doesn't work,
offense.
Mike. No, that doesn't work.
Tatum,
No.
Brown,
Tatum,
the main-
Tatum, for all intents and purposes, Tatum was way more of a scorer. He was way more aggressive as a scorer on Saturday than he's been in a long time.
He had it going, but I'm saying
so he wasn't driving and kicking. That wasn't going on.
He had it going, but that's I'm saying on the regular they rely on a lot of drive and kick. On a regular game-to-game basis, that's what a lot of their offense is.
Unfortunately, Mike. Unfortunately, Mike, what you did was you dropped another dud, brother. You did.
I destroyed you. You know it,
You
but
didn't.
because it's
You
Tatum,
didn't destroy.
you don't
You
want to
didn't
hear.
destroy.
It's
You didn't
Tatum,
destroy
don't wanna hear
anything.
it.
You didn't. Unfortunately, Mike. Again, I'm gonna say this to you until I'm blue in the face, Mike. You don't know basketball. What you do is you just repeat what everybody else
No.
says, and when you get
Because
pressed,
when I give
or
factual logic, you don't want to hear it.
You don't
want
kick
to
fact.
hear it.
Here's the difference, Mike. If you kicked factual logic, you would bring the production in, but you can't
No,
bring
I'm
that
going
in.
off of
And
what
the
I
reason
saw.
why you can't bring the production in, the reason why you don't bring the production in, the reason why you don't is because you don't understand how to incorporate the production with what you
But
see.
advanced
you don't know how to do
stats,
that.
you think
We ain't
that
talking
just
about
'cause
advanced
you bring
stats.
up
No,
advanced stats,
no,
that's
you're not doing that, Mike. We're not talking about advanced stats. We're
You
not.
did. You said isolation, PER, and all that.
Wait a minute. Okay, why is isolation? I want to make sure that I'm not losing my damn mind here. Why does it not matter how much a guy is playing in isolation? Why don't you watch a
Because
guy
the
play in
stats-
isolation? Yes or no?
Because the
Isn't that how you
process
go?
of how these
Isn't
stats
that,
are
Mike?
accumulated
I'm asking
doesn't.
you a question. Isn't that how you go off of how SGA is a great player? Yes or no? Watching him in isolation?
Yeah, watching him. Not
That's not an
that.
advanced stat. You watch him in isolation because I bring up, okay, he plays this much in isolation. Why does that matter?
But when I asked you,
I'm asking you a question, Mike. Why does that matter?
why does the stats matter?
Once again, Mike, you watch SGA in isolation, yes or no?
Yeah,
Why does it matter when I bring up how much he plays in isolation?
because I don't think those stats are reliable.
But that's what you're going off of, Mike. You're going
I'm
off
going
him
off.
being a one-on. You're going
You
off
keep
of him
saying
being a
I'm
one-on-one
going
player.
off of the eye
Yes or
test,
no, Mike? Are
not
you
the
going off of him
numbers.
being a one-on-one player? What you see? Yes or no?
Yeah. From what I see, yes.
Right. So when I say, okay, Mike, he plays 6 or 7 times in isolation throughout the course of a game. Why doesn't that matter?
But he plays more than 6 or 7 times throughout the game. That's what I'm saying. The stats aren't telling you the full story.
What are they telling me then, Mike?
Whatever the computer programming
what's
calculation
the
says.
production telling me,
Basketball
Mike?
ain't played on the calculator.
No, it's not. No, it's played on the court. Yes, it is, Mike. 100% it is. That's why.
I'm saying I just don't care about advanced stats. Is what I'm saying.
Who said anything? I'm not. Okay, you playing in isolation is not an advanced stat. That's not. I saw SGA. I'm just gonna give you a number. I don't know. I saw SGA play. He has 7 isolation. He has 7 isolations against, I don't know, Washington. That's not an advanced stat. That's just him playing in isolation.
If you watch the games and you counted it yourself, okay. But if you just going looking up
difference?
Basketball Reference and finding that, then that's not saying too much.
Mike, you just talk me. You do. You do.
No.
You
See,
do.
every time I come
You
up,
do.
every
You do.
time I come up,
You do.
and
You're
I present
awful.
factual
You do.
information off
You're
of what I
not
see.
presenting factual information. This is what I don't understand
Just like
from
when
you, Mike.
I was on the Chris Paul versus Scottie Pippen, and I brought up how Scottie Pippen wasn't a great 3-point shooter, and you started talking about all of these stats and
Wait. Stop right there. When you brought up Scottie Pippen not being a great 3-point shooter, what did you reference?
what I watched.
No, you didn't, because you said he was a 32% 3-point shooter, and the year before that, he was lower than that.
But
so
those are
stop
basic
lying.
stats, not advanced stats.
Stop
I
lying,
don't go
Mike.
off of
You
basketball.
brought up the production. You can't pick and choose when you bring production up.
When it comes to advanced stats, advanced stats ain't the
Mike,
end all be all.
Mike, I swear, Mike, once again, you trip over yourself more than a drunken wino. You do. You trip over.
You just don't want to hear. You don't
one
want to
minute
hear.
is this, and the next minute is that. You told me that Scottie Pippen wasn't a good 3-point shooter, and you brought up the fact that he shot 32% at the long ball line, and the year before that he shot 28%. But then these are the stats, but because they're on advanced stats, that doesn't count. Mike, and this is what I'm talking about with you. You lay duds, brother. You do.
I'm
see
saying
how that trips up
you
your
can watch a
logic?
game, see how many threes a guy made and a guy missed. So I know I can see if you're a good 3-point shooter.
No, you
with
can't.
these,
Mike. You can't.
With these
No, you can't.
advanced
No,
stats
you can't. No, you
off
can't.
of Basketball Reference,
You can't, Mike.
they not telling
You
me
can't.
nothing. I don't know what they go off of.
Right. You can't, Mike. You can't. I'm good on you, Mike. Again, you laid another dud. You did. What up, Jay?
Peace, chill. What's good, brother? What's going on, man? Hold on. I can't hear you. Hold on. Is there a reason why I can't hear you? Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. You hot?
Okay, I can hear you now. Okay, there you go. What's good, brother, man?
What's
so
up,
we
brother?
got. I hear you. You sitting here arguing, Mike. I've heard of Mike before. Mike's been on GOAT James Kingdom before. Shout out to Mike, man. But there's some games going on right now. We don't even need to be Mike. Minnesota is struggling right now, man. They looking bad against Cleveland right now. And my Heat are playing without Tyler Hero, but we're winning right now.
That's good news. As soon as I get off with you, I'm gonna. As soon as I get off with you, I'm gonna get to this Cleveland game because Donovan Mitchell. I think he put 38 on Anthony Edwards' ass last time he saw him, 35 or something like that last time he saw him. So I'm going off of once I get off with you guys, I'm gonna. I just what I can't appreciate, Jay, is I can't appreciate. You're a numbers guy, right?
Of course.
You're a numbers guy. You're a stats guy.
Yes.
What I can't appreciate is I can't appreciate picking and choosing which stats you want to use. I can't appreciate your logic of I'm going to use this, but advanced stats don't work. No, I can't do that with you. I'm not saying that I won't do that with you. I can't do that with you. So I once again another dud was laid, and that's all I can say about that.
Oh my God! Yeah, listen, stats are there to tell us the truth, right? Because nobody's going to sit around here and tell us. Because if we go off of just basketball skills, we could say Ben Simmons is going to take the Clippers to the finals, right?
Why wouldn't he?
Right, because he has all the attributes, right? When we watch him play with our eye test, right? But what does the stats say? And like I always tell people, if you can see a basketball screen in the basketball game, why can't you see the stats?
Not even why can't you see the stats? Why don't the numbers matter?
The numbers definitely do matter.
Yeah, why don't they matter? Why don't
they definitely matter? Of course they matter.
Yes.
They always matter. They
Yes.
always matter. And even advanced analytics, the difference with me is that I don't use it as the end all be all. But what my problem is a lot of people use them incorrectly. right? They misinterpret the stat. They don't understand where the stat comes from, so they use it incorrectly. But by you using isolation play tracking, that's like you said exactly. In isolation, this is how good SGA is, and I have the stats to back it up.
Right.
They keep a track of how many times a player goes into isolation, how many times you run a pick and roll, how many times you do a catch and shoot, how many times you take a contested shot, how many times you take a shot from 15 feet out, how many times you take a shot from 5 feet in.
Why doesn't this stuff matter?
Oh, of course it matters. It definitely matters. It always matters.
That part I don't get.
Especially when you say you know the game, there should be no stat you should feel uncomfortable to talk about. Right? If you say you know basketball, you're a basketball fan. Any basketball person you speak to bring up a stat, you shouldn't be like, oh, well, I don't want to talk about that stat. It don't tell the whole story. Well, ain't nobody trying to tell a story. We ain't trying to tell a story. We just trying to tell you the facts, right?
And these are the facts, right? As much as I'm not a big fan of defensive rating, I'm not. Defensive rating does go into what your team does, so we have to talk about that. We do.
Nah, yeah, I'm not. Again, I don't think defensive rating is a way to judge a team's defense, but I understand the stat and I understand what it means. You see what I'm trying to say? But like I told you, and like I tell everybody, I go by points per game. The game is played within 48 minutes, so I need to know what you did within a 48-minute span. That's all I need to know. That's the basis. And possessions, they always talk about pace. Possessions is predicated on play style. So again, if you're a good team, you dictate pace.
Last I checked, Jay, plenty of people have been sent to the penitentiary because of false eyewitnesses. Because somebody saw something that they didn't really see, but they told you that they saw this. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. I can't go off of that. I can't.
No. And I always tell people this: your eyes can only see what your mind can comprehend. That's how come magicians earn a living. Because they basically do things right in front of your eyes and you don't even see it because they understand what your mind can comprehend at a slight movement. So it's the same thing in real life. So that's why I always tell people when I talk to them, that's my job, to expose things that your mind can't readily comprehend so that now your eyes can see what my eyes are seeing. You feel me? So, but let me let you enjoy these games because that's what I'm trying to do again. Join the GOAT James Kingdom membership. We about to watch a watch party. LeBron and Luka, the greatest duo since Shaq and Kobe. This is about to be epic, bro. This is gonna be epic, 100%. Man.
All right, brother. Good to talk to you.
All right, brother. Pete.
Mike, you got embarrassed again, brother. 0 for 10. I'm sorry, Mike. You're awful again. You got tripped up once again. And this is who you are. This is who you've always been. This is who you'll always be. The reason why you can't answer things is because, once again, you don't know. That's why you can't. That's why you can't. Mike, whatever your name is, I'm going to start calling you Ike because that's what you are. What up?
Chill, am I going to see another 15-point piss-poor shooting performance from Tatum again?
You might.
Sad. I can't. He makes it really, really hard to say he's the best small forward in the game.
Because what you saw on Saturday, you expect more of that.
God, I saw that. I'm like, this is how are you gonna lose to Dallas, but you're gonna blow out New York? How? It's like they play good against good teams, but they play bad against bad teams.
They do play down to the competition. I won't argue that.
They beat Cleveland. Chill. They were up by almost 20 against Cleveland. Now they let the of course, they're going to let the lead go, but they still managed to beat Cleveland. And I'm just like, you can do that, but you can't do that against piss poor teams. I don't understand it. Like, we can't even push. We can't push. I was pushing Tatum MVP talks at the beginning of the season. I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. If this guy's 30, 10, and 5 on good shooting splits, there's your league MVP right there.
I mean, we can't. With all of that being said, we still have to accept the fact. I mean, they still got the second best record. They got they number 2 in the East. They got the third best record in the league, right? So, they beaten teams. They're beaten teams. I think they're third in the league. Yeah, I think they're third in the league by points per game. How much they beaten teams by? So, I mean, it's not like it's a situation where they suck. No, they rolling still.
I'd love to see what the excuse is. If they win the championship this year, Chill, I want to see what the excuse is now. No comp, right? They beat comp now, so what's the excuse now? What is going to be the excuse?
Yeah, we gonna find.
I'm gonna look. I got one more for you, Chill. I need to get your thoughts on this bowl game yesterday, Chill. I gotta get your thoughts on that.
I don't. To be honest with you, I watched it yesterday, and I thought to myself, Philadelphia Eagle fans, you have to be able to. You got to respect them. I mean, 3 trips to the bowl game in 6 years, winning it twice, and dropping Pat Mahomes. I thought they did a great job. I thought that Philly's front 4 on defense was better than Kansas City's front 4 on offense. I thought they had a great game plan with Jalen Hurts. I thought that him being in the pocket, I thought he stood in the pocket, and I thought he took hits, and I thought he delivered the football. He outplayed Pat Mahomes for the second time. I thought that they did a good job in running the football. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think he was great, right? I don't think he was great. I don't think Saquon Barkley was great, but I think that he was good enough to keep that front line, that Kansas City had, to keep them at bay. And I thought that gave Jalen Hurts plenty of time to throw the football, to make the right reads, and he was fantastic yesterday. He was great.
He broke the record for most rushing yards in a season, most combined rushing yards in a season.
Yes,
that's the best running back in the game, Chill. That's crazy. They made the Kansas City Chiefs receivers look exactly the way they were supposed to look, average to below average.
I won't argue that. I won't.
That's crazy. They made the receivers actually look the way they were supposed to. They got that defense, Chill. That Philly defense murdered Mahomes.
Yeah, don't worry. What do you got? Sacked 5? I counted 5 sacks. I don't know if I was.
That's how many I counted. I'm like, I counted 5 sacks. I'm like,
I counted 5.
He didn't look comfortable at all in the pocket,
which was good.
At all.
Yeah,
he ended up bumping into one of his teammates.
Yes,
that's how he got sacked.
Right. So
that's crazy.
All right, Jay. Good to talk to you, brother.
You have a good one, Chill.
Yep. What up?
Yo, what up, Chill? What up?
What's up, brother?
What up? Yeah, I had to get in on the Tatum combo, and man, I really enjoyed that game Saturday night.
Yes, sir.
And what it confirmed to me, Chill, is what's going on with Tatum is Porzingis, and I've told you this before. They just do not play good. He's not aggressive with Porzingis, and it makes sense to me now, Chill. Porzingis didn't work out with Luka because Porzingis is like, he's a high confidence player, and he wants his touches, and I can't stand whenever they give him the ball in the post, because I think we're better whenever we do the drive and kick, like the guy up here was talking about when y'all were having the argument. But the Celtics are at their best whenever they drive and kick. Porzingis isn't driving and kicking, and those post touches are slowing the game down. But Joe Mazzulla has a system. You've gotten to own Tatum for playing into the system too much, but he can get outside of the system sometimes. I feel like if Porzingis is not in the game.
So you think Porzingis is in his way?
He's in his way, Chill. He's in his way. And Porzingis, whenever he's hot, he does look like one of the best players in the game. But we've seen Porzingis over the years. It's the reason he got traded from the Knicks. It's the reason he got traded from the Mavs. It's the reason he got traded for the Wizards. He's a great player, but you're not winning a championship playing through Porzingis. We need to play through Tatum.
Well, first of all, number one, I mean, he got traded from New York because he was hurt. That's why he got traded. And he got traded from Dallas. I mean, it didn't work. I think egos were more a part of that than actual play style. And with the Celtics, I mean, I think his game is conducive to what they're doing. He shoots the long ball. He plays in the mid post, which is what they're really good at. I'm not going to say that he's in Jason Tatum's way, because I do think that they can coexist. I 100% believe that. So, but Classic, I got to get going, brother. Good to talk to you.
All right, man. You have a good one.
Yep. I got Mike back again.
Hey, I came back up to say, bro. So, about Jalen Brunson being a top 5 guard. Luka,
Point guard or guard?
Point guard.
Okay, so lead guard.
This what I meant, but you thought I meant overall guard. I'm saying Luka. I consider SGA a point guard. SGA. De'Aaron Fox. And then I think he's right at number 3.
You was about to say Ja Morant. You was about to say
I got John Morant. I don't got him over Brunson. I think he's a top 5 guard at number 3.
And Mike, you're the same one who was just up here talking about right now. Did you watch the game a couple of weeks ago when Memphis was in Madison Square Garden? He kicked Ja's ass. Did you watch that game?
Yeah.
Because I did.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
What?
No, you didn't watch it.
Yes,
No,
I
you
did watch it.
No, you didn't watch it, Mike.
I did watch.
No, you didn't.
I watched the game.
No, you didn't.
I
So
watched
okay, so
the
tell me.
game.
So tell me about it, Mike.
We already know we watched.
No,
it.
I don't know, Mike. That's what I'm asking.
We
Tell me
already
about it, Mike.
know. I ain't come here to talk about what happened against John. I'm talking about.
So you
I
don't
came up
know.
here to say.
Once again, you don't know. Once again, Mike, you don't know. Like all the other stuff that we talk about that you don't know. And the reason why you don't know it is because you don't know. It's not like you don't know it because you just no. You don't actually know. Mike,
Jalen Brunson got busy. We all know it.
Mike, you're not that smart, and I'm good on you, brother.
Jalen Brunson got busy.
Stop
we all know
me.
it.
You don't know
top
basketball.
5 guard,
Stop
and it's undeniable.
insulting me. You are whack. Your game is whack. Your delivery
if Jalen Brunson, a top 5 point guard,
your knowledge is whack. Everything about you is whack. All you do is typing.
If Jalen Brunson, a top 5 guard,
you don't know what you're talking about. So stop coming in my chat. Stop insulting me.
Jalen Brunson, a top 5 point guard.
Go play in the sandbox with the other kids. Get your ass out of here. So, as I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, this was pretty entertaining today. Yes, it was. 100% it was. With that being said, I'm way over time tonight. So I'm glad we were able to actually see Mike. I'm glad you were actually able to see Mike. So now when he comes in, when he's on the panel and he comes in with the caps talking about he cooking this and he cooking that, you saw him. You saw what you saw what he said. You saw when I pressed him and I asked him questions, you saw how he was tripping over his own words. You saw how he was tripping over my words, what I was saying. You saw how he couldn't articulate anything. This is who he is. So in the future, when you see Mike, make sure you remind him again of what happened. Make sure you remind him again, right? Make sure that you remind him again of what happened. So I'm not going to say another word about this. When you see him, whether you're on the panel or whether you're here, when you see him again, make sure you remind him what exactly happened when he came up here again. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But it was good to see you guys tonight. I will see you guys soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man. Call your mother. When last time you call your mother? Call your mother. I will talk to you guys soon. But until then, take it light. Take it. Absolutely, man. It was good to see you guys. Oh, wait. Whoa, I can't leave yet. I got a super chat. I'm wild right now. I can't leave yet. I got a super chat from Empress Sports Channel. He says, Luka got to show me defense. I don't care if he scores 100. You know what, Empress? I think you might be asking for a lot, brother. I do. I will say this, though, Empress. You are going to get a different, right? You are going to get a different effort from Luka, right? You are going to get a different effort from Luka. No question about that. You 100% are going to get a different effort from Luka. However, what you are looking for, you're not going to get that on a consistent basis. I've already accepted who Luka is. I've already accepted that. That's just me. I've already accepted who Luka is, and I'm gonna get some defense. I'm gonna get some effort sometimes, but for the most part, you need to put people kind of like Damian Lillard. You need to put people around him to protect him, because you're not gonna get that consistent effort on defense on a night-to-night basis. You're not going to do that. And before I go, Khalil Burton says, Chill, you need to do that 1 million more times. There's a lot of people like Mike trying to talk basketball and sound dumb. I mean, these aren't my words. These are people who heard him, right? These are people. So again, when you see this guy in the future, right? When you see this guy in the future, you saw him up here. You saw him up here. And you saw what you saw what it was, right? You guys saw what it was. This isn't me just running my mouth. You guys saw what it was again for the fifth, for the sixth time. He's like 0-8 against me, 0-9 against me, 0 for 10 against me. And the reason why is because he doesn't know. And Duke, to be honest with you, no, he isn't getting better. No, he isn't. He's not getting better. No, he isn't. No, he's not. No, he still suck. That's who he is. And you guys saw it. You guys saw it. So I'm going to get going. You know where to find me. If I'm not here, I'm on TikTok, 9 a.m. every Monday to Friday. If I'm not there, you can find me on the panel from 11 to 2, 11 a.m. Eastern to 2 o'clock Eastern. If I'm not there, this is where I am weeknights. If I'm not here on Saturdays, I'm on Chill with Chill, me and Big Ox. So on the Players Choice Network, I'm not hard to find, guys. It was good to see you guys tonight. I will see you guys soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Amen. Call your mother. Call your mother. I will talk to you guys soon. But until then, take it light. But take it. Absolutely, man. It was good to see you guys tonight.